Hi, stars. Don't you love, like, look how close, like, my nose, I don't have one. I love this ring light. Let's see, how high can we go?
Can we go down?
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, but what I'm doing is my May wrap up. I kind of did that this May, you know what I'm saying? Like, good for me. So I am going to try to be better about filming my wrap-ups because I realized I'm not really a TBR person, although I could film a TBR for June because I actually have one. What? But not going to. So let's see. What books did I read in May? You know what I did do? I read a lot of Mira and Sarah J. Maas. That's what I did. The first book I finished for May was My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. This one got a 5-star rating for me because honestly, what the heck even happened? I am still shook, shaken, and stirred by what happened in this book. It was definitely something you could have found out if you weren't like me and your brain was capable of picking up on clues and very obvious signs of whodunit. I don't look for that when I'm reading thrillers and mysteries. I kind of like to be surprised, which I know is apparently weird. Whatever. But yeah, this one was definitely very good. I really liked the writing style. I really liked the audiobook that's how I listened to it. I listened to most of my thrillers on audio. This one, definitely good. The next one I read was Waiting for Spring Volume 1. This one got a 4-star for me. I picked this one up because Books with Chloe, well, I mean, I already owned it, but I started reading it because I saw on a reading vlog that Chloe was reading, I think the 4th volume or something like that, and I didn't realize, I'm so dumb, I didn't realize that this was about basketball, and then I was like, oh, I've never read anything about basketball. And also I don't know anything about basketball other than there's a ball, and there's a hoop, and there's people trying to do things with that ball and hoop. This one was definitely really cute. It's more of a high school drama, I'd say. Like, basketball's there, but it's just that the guys on the team aren't playing basketball. Like, but it was cute, it was fun, it was fresh. We liked it. The next one I read was a little novella, which I wish had been so much longer, but it was Rolling in the Deep by Mira Grant. This goes with her novel Into the Drowning Deep, which I haven't stopped talking about since I read it, so if that tells you anything, you need to go read it. This was 5 stars from me because I'm never gonna get enough of these murderous mermaids. Truly, it was so good. I wish there was the audiobook because that's how I listened to Into the Drowning Deep, but of course there's not because it's just a novella and they probably were like, we don't need this, but I do. My next read was Aurora Rising by Amie Kaufman and Kristoff. I mean, y'all already know this was 5 stars. I had a really good reading month in May, I think, because a lot of these were 5 stars, except for this one book at the end of the month. Well, it was actually 2 books, but that's tea for another time. But yeah, this one was so good. I loved the Guardians of the Galaxy vibe I was getting because it's like this ragtag team of people that just made no sense. There is like this part where you're supposed to be super sad, but I actually didn't care about that at all. Like, I didn't. I was just like, oh, bye girl. Like, I wasn't upset, but it was very good and I would appreciate book 2 quickly. Godspeed. So my next 3 were rereads, and that is Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire. Of course, these were all 5 stars because who would I be if I rated them any lower? A liar. And I just love these books. Oh, I tabbed them up because I forgot how much foreshadowing and plot laying down ish things, what am I saying? How much like foreshadowing basically that Sarah J. Maas did in the first couple books, and I think it's because I never reread those books before I got into like Empire of Storms and Kingdom of Ash, because to me Empire of Storms and Kingdom of Ash are where a lot of the characters split more and they weren't together and being funny and bantery, so it was more of a serious moment. And I forgot how much I loved the first 3 books with my original trio and Heir of Fire when we meet Rowan for the first time. Girl. The next 2 are as part of a series, so that's why I'm doing them together, but that's Truthwitch and Windwitch by Susan Dennard. Ooh, is this controversial that I'm bringing Susan Dennard up right after Sarah J. Maas? tea. I loved these two books. I thought they were so interesting. I thought, honestly, I was gonna give Truthwitch probably like a 3.5, but round it up to a 4 because I'm generous like that. But then I got to this, like, my ultimate OTP of all OTPs. And I knew I was going to ship them when they tried to kill each other. And that, I'm just not over it. And it gets even better / worse in Windwitch. And now I need to read, is it Sightwitch? I don't know, someone on Twitter freaked me out because I was going to start Bloodwitch. But then they're like, make sure you don't forget about Sightwitch. And I'm like, do I have to read it? Because I don't want to. Because the guy in the relationship is a blood witch, which is like bad to the bone. And like I just want to get to it. Like I don't know, wait. I don't even want sight. I just want my sights on them, you know what I'm saying? The next one was a series finale called Finale by Stephanie Garber. I didn't even plan that, but honestly, good on me. This one I gave this one 4 stars, and the only reason was because I just feel like that ending was really like zoop, and honestly she could have written like a 600-700 page book and I would have read it, or we could have had a 4th book. And that would have been fine. I just feel like everything that she set up shouldn't have been resolved in just one book, if that makes sense. Like it should have had a little bit more time to grow, prosper, become its true self. But I had to give it a high rating because I just love this series so much. It means so much to me. I'm also definitely biased because I met her at a book signing in Austin and I was like, I cried afterwards because like she's so nice and she makes me want to write, but I have no talent. And yeah, I just love this series so much. And I tried to tab it, but then I realized I liked the audiobook better, so it's like half tabbed, half audiobook. I don't even know. And then comes the next book, Wicked Saints by Too Big for My Britches, Emily Duncan. This book objectively had a real good idea, and I think if I was going to stick it out with the other books in the series, I probably really like this series because I like evil characters. I like the idea of like an evil character and the good character like being the OTP and the melodrama angst. What I don't like is authors being mean to their readers and supporters on Twitter, and I super don't like whenever they subtweet about reviews. I think it's gross, it's weird, and it's just, how old are you? Like, I won't go into it too much because it's not a tea channel, although I do keep receipts. No, I'm just kidding, I don't. I would literally just like look it up on Google or something. But the exact thing that made me like realize, I was like, oh, DNF, return the audiobook. I'm glad I didn't purchase a book and I got an ARC instead. Praise God. Never reading this series, even though it does, like, I want to read it because I like the names, I like the accents in the audiobook, I like all that. But what I don't like is her attitude, and I think that it just all went to her head real quick because she did do very well on this first book. As she should have. The book itself was fine, but I don't like her. I don't like the vibe she puts out. Maybe she's great. I wouldn't know. She don't put that out on the internet. But she said something about how half the reviews say the pacing is too slow, which it was, but I'm okay with slow pacing. But the pacing was slow, let's not play around, girl. And then another half of the reviews are saying the pacing's fine and they love the book. And I'm like, oh, my cat. She's like, what's going on? Give me quicker the tea. And then she's like, so basically, it was something along the lines of basically I don't need your constructive criticism because it's not helpful. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not here to give you constructive criticism. I'm not your writing partner. I'm reviewing your book and I get to do that. And it should be understood I get to do that without fear of you tweeting about me. So we don't stand that. I'm moving on because I don't want to just make this video a little angry rant, although I could, because I do not like authors using they're intimidating on Twitter. I don't like them using that against reviewers who want to talk about the books. As soon as reviewers feel the need to like put asterisks in the title or in the author's name because they don't want that author to look up their own name, gross, dude. That's weird. And shame on you, honestly. Like, it just makes me mad. So the next one was Before She Knew Him by Peter Swanson, and this was just weird and I didn't like it, so 2 stars. Then I binge read The Last Day of May, which got me, you know, my 12th book, and that was The Night Before by Wendy Walker. I read Emma in the Night, I want to say last month, or maybe the month before, I don't know, I listened to the audiobook, and it was really good. This one's not as good as Emma in the Night, but it's still good. Like, if you like Wendy Walker, I think you should still check it out. Give it a little look-see. It was just the ending is the only thing I didn't like, which is why I still rated it, like, it was 3.5 for me, but I rated it 3 because in thrillers, I know people read for the ending. Like, they want that good, impactful, like, oh my god, but I also could have figured it out ending. And this one, you could have figured it out, but I didn't want it to be that ending because it just was like lame. But everything else was good. I really loved how it was alternating point of views because the sister goes missing and then her sister is like looking for her, so it's the night before this girl and then the next chapter is the morning of her sister, and it just alternates between those two, and it was really good. We stand. I really didn't care for some of the male characters' internal thoughts. It was just gross, and some of the stories that were told about him because he's just a creep, and they could have gone so much better. It could have been so much better if like they had just gone with what I thought they were gonna go with as the moment, but they didn't. He was just a creep. Darn. So yeah, that is my May wrap up. I'm pretty proud of it. I don't even know how I did on Pokemon because halfway through the month I was like, I'm sad. I'm not gonna read anything for this. And so that's literally what happened. This next month, June, I actually have a TBR, so we'll see how that goes because I made it like a real TBR because I did it in pen in my bullet journal. So now if I don't finish them, honestly for my OCD that was probably a bad idea. But I mean, use your brain for motivation. Brain? I'm gonna go because clearly I just hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys read some good books. If you made it this far in the video, first of all, we stand. You're a true trooper. Alliteration. And I want you to comment down below a 5-star read and a 1-star read, or like just your highest and your lowest read for May. Mine was Throne of Glass, Wicked Saints. Ooh, actually, everything. Wicked Saints. Okay, I'm done being shady. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. And I like you a lot. You're great. Bye.